Everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Anthony and today we are installing the K3 camera system from Inov. So here we have my 2007 Ducati Monster named Mia. And first up, the placement for the DVR will be underneath the seat. Just remove the double-sided tape and stick the DVR down over the mudguard, which is underneath the seat. And here is the location for the SD card inside the DVR unit, and just close the door up. Next up we have the mount for the front camera, which has already been installed the day before just to speed things up a little bit. And here we have the camera being fitted and secured with the bolts at the side of the mount. Next I ran the cables through the frame under the tank and then connected them to the DVR under the seat. Likewise, the rear camera mount was mounted the day before, attached to the bolt which holds the number plate light under the rear guard. And the camera was then attached to the mount and then bolted on. Once again, the cables ran up through the frame and attached to the cables on the DVR unit. The GPS module was next, some double-sided tape attached to it. It's then sitting on the exhaust bracket. The cable was then fed up through the frame and up to the DVR unit and attached to the frame with some zip ties. Next up is the remote, and the bracket for that I had attached to one of the mirror mounts. And then the cable for it is fed down through behind the speedometer and down, following the cables under the tank and down to the DVR once again, and attached to the cable. Next up is the DC converter, also mounted under the seat, and the yellow cable is fed through underneath the back part down to the number plate light. Which I've since removed in this shot so that I could attach it to the cable, because the rear camera was mounted to that, the bolts that hold that in place. That was all taped up. Then the DC converter was attached to the DVR, and the red and black cables attached to the battery, powering everything up. And then we have the microphone, which is last attached via the cable, and I've got that mounted under a plastic part of the frame beneath the seat. And then we have the app. Go into the settings and connect via Wi-Fi to the phone, and then when it finds the signal, connect to Inov K3 in this case, and then that will give you the Wi-Fi connection. Then you're able to select the camera, which I did in this case just to test that it was all working, and in a second you'll see me appear when we go to the front camera, and there I am, so that we can see that the camera is picking me up. Switch to the rear, and there we are once again, that can see what's in the back of the garage, and there I am, and everything's working. And now let's go out for a test. A nice little sunrise ride the following day to test that everything was working and check out the footage. At this stage I've applied a bit of a color grade to the footage. I'm going to play around with that till I get it exactly the way I want it. But for now, here's some test footage of the front and the rear camera to give you an idea of how it looks.